Good morning, friends. Today we are going to discuss about the first lecture on Indian economy for both on the purpose of both KPSC and UPSC exams. So this is Dr. Nagesha ji. I welcome you all for this lecture. Today we are going to discuss these 8 concepts. Namely, the first one includes what is economy. Economy andre ಏನು, types of the economy of the world. ಇಡೀ ಜಗತ್ತಿನ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಗಳನ್ನು 3 ವರ್ಗಗಳಾಗಿ ವಿಭಾಗ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. We are going to discuss that. And most importantly, economies of the world are grouped into various categories. They are based on the development or growth aspect. So most important indicator to measure the growth, we consider national income. What is national income? 16 concepts of national income we are going to discuss, and there are some concepts which comes in the national income like per capita income, personal income, then disposable personal income, explicit and implicit national income, and mixed income. These are the concepts which you are going to discuss, and followed by methods of national income estimation methods, measurement. There are 3 methods ಇದೆ, ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಆದಾಯವನ್ನು ಅಂದಾಜು ಮಾಡುವ ವಿಧಾನಗಳು ಅಂತ. ಈ 3 ವಿಧಾನಗಳನ್ನು ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂತೀವಿ. ಫಾಲೋಡ್ ಬೈ ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಎಸ್ಟಿಮೇಷನ್, ಮೆಜರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಆದಾಯವನ್ನು ಅಂದಾಜು ಮಾಡೋ ವಿಧಾನದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಲಿಮಿಟೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ ಮಿತಿಗಳನ್ನು ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಮತ್ತು ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಟ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಇನ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಫಾಲೋಡ್ ಬೈ ಕ್ವಿಕ್ ಗ್ಲಾನ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಟ್ರೈ ಟು ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಇಶ್ಯೂಸ್ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಲರ್ನ್ಡ್ ಥ್ರೂ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪಲ್ ಚಾಯ್ಸ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ. ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮನ್ನು ನಾವೇ ಎಷ್ಟರ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಲೆಕ್ಚರನ್ನ ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಸೊ ಪ್ರಾಕ್ಟೀಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ. Let me move on to the first lecture, first slide of the discussion. What is economy? ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ what is economy ಅಂತ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ, ಸೊ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಅಂತ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನಪ್ಪ ಅಂದರೆ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಎ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ which deals with economic aspects of individuals, households, firms, governments and at various levels. ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಅಥವಾ ಅರ್ಥಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಅಂತ ಅಂದರೆ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ವಿಚಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಕುರಿತು ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡುವಂತಹ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ. ಸೊ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ಸ್. ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ 4 ಏಜೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. 4 ಏಜೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹುಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ನಮಗೆ ಹೌಸ್ ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಕುಟುಂಬ ಘಟಕ, ಇಂಡಿವಿಜುವಲ್ಸ್ ಒಂದು ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳು ಕುಟುಂಬ ಘಟಕ, ಉದ್ಯಮ ಘಟಕ, ಸರ್ಕಾರ. ಈ 4 ಸ್ತರಗಳ ಸರ್ಕಾರಗಳು ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಥಳೀಯ ಮಟ್ಟದ ಸರ್ಕಾರಗಳಿರ್ಬೋದು, ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮಟ್ಟದಿರ್ಬೋದು, ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮಟ್ಟದಿರ್ಬೋದು. ಈ 4 ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ 4 ರೀತಿಯ ಸರ್ಕಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಈ 4 ಬಹುಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ವ್ಯಕ್ತಿಗಳು, ಕುಟುಂಬ ಘಟಕ, ಉದ್ಯಮ ಘಟಕ ಮತ್ತು ಸರ್ಕಾರಗಳ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ವ್ಯವಹಾರಗಳನ್ನು ಕುರಿತು ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅರ್ಥಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಈ ಅರ್ಥಶಾಸ್ತ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹುಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಸಬ್ಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಸ್ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ 4 ಏಜೆಂಟ್ಸ್, that is individuals, households, firms and governments to optimum use of limited resources. The resources, I mean, so we have human resource, you have capital, you have natural resource. ಈ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ನ್ಯಾಚುರಲ್ ರಿಸೋರ್ಸಸ್, ಮಾನವ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲ ಮತ್ತು ನೈಸರ್ಗಿಕ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲ, ಈ 2 ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲಗಳು ಮಿತವಾಗಿದ್ದಾವೆ. ಇಂತಹ ಮಿತವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲಗಳನ್ನು ಗರಿಷ್ಠ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಬಳಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅನುಕೂಲ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅರ್ಥಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ. ಇಷ್ಟರ ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಅರ್ಥಶಾಸ್ತ್ರ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಂಪಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಾಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಮೂವ್ ಆನ್ ಟು ದಿ ಟೈಪ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ದಿ ಎಕಾನಮೀಸ್. ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಗಳನ್ನು 3 ವರ್ಗಗಳಾಗಿ ವರ್ಗೀಕರಣ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದೇರ್ ಆರ್ ಎಂಟೈರ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಎಕಾನಮೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಬೈಫರ್ಗೇಟೆಡ್ ಇಂಟು 3 categories. One is socialist economy, the second one is mixed capitalist economy, the third one is mixed economy. The first socialist economy, I mean, the world economies are bifurcated into 3 categories based on this criteria. ಕ್ರೈಟೀರಿಯಾ ಯಾವುದನ್ನ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ either production and distribution of goods and services. ಸರಕು ಮತ್ತು ಸೇವೆಗಳ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸರ್ವೀಸಸ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮತ್ತು ವಿತರಣೆಗಳು ಯಾರ ನಿಯಂತ್ರಣದಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತವೆ ಎಂದು ಪರಿಗಣಿಸಿ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಗಳನ್ನ 3 ವರ್ಗಗಳಾಗಿ ವಿಭಾಗ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹುಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದ ಸಂಪನ್ಮೂಲಗಳು, ಸರಕು ಮತ್ತು ಸೇವೆಗಳ ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮತ್ತು ವಿತರಣೆ, ದ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸರ್ವೀಸಸ್, the production and distribution of goods and services are with the government sector. Government sector is the owner of or only producer of goods and services and distributor. Then it is said to be socialist economy anta karitivi. In case if the goods and services are produced and distributed by the private sector, then we call that economy into capitalist economy. ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಅಥವಾ ಬಂಡವಾಳಶಾಹಿ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸರಕು ಮತ್ತು ಸೇವೆಗಳ ಉತ್ಪಾದನೆ ಮತ್ತು ವಿತರಣೆ ಈ ಎರಡೂ ಖಾಸಗಿ ವಲಯದ ಕೈಯಲ್ಲಿದ್ರೆ ಅಂತಹ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲಿಸ್ಟ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Whereas if the economy in the country, in the economy where goods and services are produced, both the government as well as private sector, simultaneous existence of government and private sector both existed for the production and distribution of goods and services, then such economies are said to be mixed economies anta karitivi. So the good example for mixed economy is India. India is the best example for the mixed economy, and USA is the best example for capitalist economy, and relatively so the socialist economy, literally no country in the world we have only government, relatively more government sector. So your China, or if you want to take the best example, previous to 1991 USSR was the best example for socialist economy. So this is what the world economies are bifurcated into 3 categories, that is socialist, capitalist, mixed economy, and one should remember this. And let me move on to the next slide. Dear students, as we know, the economies are classified into 3 categories. We should also know where these economies are standing. ಈ ಜಾಗತಿಕ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಗಳನ್ನ 3 ವರ್ಗಗಳಾಗಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸಿಫೈ ಮಾಡಿ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಈ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಗಳು ಯಾವ ಹಂತದಲ್ಲಿದ್ದಾವೆ, ಅಭಿವೃದ್ಧಿಯ ವೇಗ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇದೆ, ಆ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಗಳು ಪ್ರಗತಿ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇದೆ ಅಥವಾ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಗಳ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಬಹುಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಬೇಕಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್, Okay, national income is one indicator. This is one indicator. ಇದನ್ನ ಗ್ರೋತ್ ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟರ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಒಂದು ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ. ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು, ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ನ 16 ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುವ. ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಆದಾಯ ಅಂತ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಕರಿತೀವಲ್ಲ, ಈ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಆದಾಯ ಆ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಪ್ರಗತಿಯನ್ನ ಹೇಳೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಮಾನದಂಡ. ಜಗತ್ತಿನ ಎಲ್ಲ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಗಳ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಆದಾಯಗಳನ್ನ ನೋಡಿ ಆ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಗಳ ಬೆಳವಣಿಗೆ ಹೇಗಿದೆ ಅಂತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನ ನಿರ್ಧಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಈಸ್ ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಬಟ್ ದ ಫೈನಲ್ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ, ಆಫ್ ದ ಎಕಾನಮಿ. ಒಂದು ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ನಿರ್ದಿಷ್ಟ ಅವಧಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಉತ್ಪಾದಿಸಲ್ಪಟ್ಟಂತಹ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅಂತಿಮ ಸರಕು ಮತ್ತು ಸೇವೆಗಳ ಹಣದ ಮೌಲ್ಯ. It's a money value of all final output. Output, I mean the money value of all final goods and services. Goods and services of the goods and services money value ಅನ್ನು ನಾವೇನಂತೀವಿ, GDP ಅಥವಾ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಈ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್, as I have already told, it's one of the most important indicator to measure the growth of the country or the growth of the economy. Let me move on to after knowing the national income importance, we should remember across the globe these 16 concepts of national income are there, and we should remember all the 16 concepts, and literally ಈ 16 ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ನನ್ನ ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು 1-2 ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನಮಗೆ ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಐದರ್ KPSC ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ UPSC ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ನೀವು ಪ್ರೀವಿಯಸ್ ಇಯರ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಪೇಪರ್ಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಅರಿವು ಉಂಟಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಕನಿಷ್ಠ 1-2 ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆಗಳು ಬಂದೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ರಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಮಿತ್ರರೇ, my dear students, I will explain all the 16 concepts in such a way that one get one if you can learn one, the second one will be relatively free. They are all interlinked in such a way that you should be in a position, you will be in a position to learn these concepts by understanding the first. Second one will be easy. If you understand second, third will be most easy, and if you can understand third, the fourth will be almost you can, if you put a little bit efforts, you can understand the fourth one. If you understand first 4 and the next 4 will be just one difference will be there, and from that in such a way I will explain and make you to understand all these 16 concepts of national income. So first let me go on to the first concept of national income, that is GDP. So ಇದನ್ನ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಡೊಮೆಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಡೊಮೆಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್, ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಟ್ಟು ದೇಶೀಯ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನ. We call it as gross domestic product or ಒಟ್ಟು ದೇಶೀಯ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನ. Gross domestic product, I mean there are 4 concepts. The students, you should remember the 4 important concepts of gross domestic product. So you should not forget these 4 phrases, and it is very, very crucial. If you don't forget these 4 phrases, it will be very easy to learn the rest of the 16 concepts also. So money value, first we should consider what is all this GDP or gross domestic product. I mean, gross domestic product includes the money value. The first phrase is money value. The second one is money value of all final goods and services. Final goods and services. Third one, these final goods and services must be produced within the country, geographical boundaries of the economy. Geographical boundaries. Fourth one, so financial year, period. The students, you should remember these four concepts which are included in the GDP. If I want to ask you to tell me, if you are asking me to put it in the whole thing in Kannada, so it includes four things. One is money value, hanada ಮೌಲ್ಯ, ಅಂತಿಮ ಸರಕು ಮತ್ತು ಸೇವೆಗಳು, ಭೌಗೋಳಿಕ ಪ್ರದೇಶ, ಸೊ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ಅವಧಿ, ಒಂದು ನಿರ್ದಿಷ್ಟ ಅವಧಿ. Dear friend, let me spend few minutes on all these four concepts. Money value, I mean it's nothing but price into quantity. So we produce all the final goods and services. Dear students, you should remember the goods and services are in the economy are coming from these three sectors. In the economy, we have 3+1 sector. In the closed economy, particularly in the GDP, so GDP is the national income of the closed economy, whereas GNP is the national income of the open economy. So we have closed economy. So in case if that is the case, you have three sectors. One is primary sector. The second one is secondary sector. The third one is tertiary sector. Or you call it as service sector. So the second one can also be called as manufacturing sector ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಇದನ್ನ ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಥವಾ ಅಗ್ರಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಲೈಡ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಾನೂ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Dear students, you should remember ನಮ್ಮ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ GDP, which comes from all these three sectors, that is primary, followed by secondary and then tertiary sector. ಒಂದು ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದ ಆದಾಯ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಒಟ್ಟು ದೇಶೀಯ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತಿಮ ಸರಕು ಮತ್ತು ಸೇವೆಗಳ ಮೌಲ್ಯ, ಹಣದ ಮೌಲ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಿ. So these final goods and services are coming from these three sectors. So and then you should also remember, dear students, in these three sectors there are four important agents which are required. You should remember these three sectors and four factors of production we call. So ಉತ್ಪಾದನಾಂಗಗಳು ಅಂತ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಉತ್ಪಾದನಾಂಗಗಳು. So there are four factors. Let me tell you, one is land, the second one is labor, third one is capital, fourth one is organization or entrepreneurship. So land, ಬಹುಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ land, labor, capital and organization. ಇದು ನಾಲ್ಕು ಉತ್ಪಾದನಾಂಗಗಳು ಬಹುಮುಖ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಬೇಕು. All these four factors are used in the production of goods and services in all these three sectors, and they are all contributing. The money value of final goods and services is coming from these three sectors, and each sector is using these four factors. One is land in economics, I mean, so it may be physical land, maybe agriculture field, but in the manufacturing sector and tertiary sector, that is service sector, also we use a factor called land, but that is buildings also we call it as in economics. Buildings also can be called as a land. So but labor Labor is so we have this labor, skilled labor, unskilled labor. This is which is also required, badly required for all these three sectors. And capital is nothing but machinery and organization. So organization is an entrepreneurship which is also badly required for to produce goods and services in these three sectors. I think you are familiar now. You are okay with final goods and services. Again, let me explain you what exactly there are two types of goods existed in the economy. One is, dear students, the goods in the economy are classified into two categories. One is there are two types of goods and services existed. The first category of good is said to be raw material or semi-finished good. The second category of goods are said to be, we have different categories, but just for the national income understanding, I am using this the raw materials and semi-finished goods in one category and final goods in the another category, where we have written the word final. Final goods and raw materials are semi-finished goods. Only the difference is we call the first category goods are said to be producer goods. We call this first category goods are said to be producer goods, and this category goods are said to be, the final goods are said to be consumer goods. So, at the time of national income estimation, one should consider only the consumer goods, not the producer goods or the semi-finished goods. Please keep it in memory. Many times the questions are asked. So, one should, in all 16 concepts, so wherever if you are coming into national income estimation, so we consider only final goods, that means the consumer goods. So I mean, what do you mean by consumer goods? Consumer goods are the goods which have a capability of satisfying human wants directly. So these goods and services, in fact both the goods and services are in the final goods and services. They are consumer goods and services, so which have a capability of satisfying human wants directly. Manavana ಬಯಕೆಗಳನ್ನ ನೇರವಾಗಿ, so human wants ಬಯಕೆಗಳನ್ನ ನೇರವಾಗಿ ಸೊ ಈಡೇರಿಸತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಶಕ್ತಿ ಈ ಫೈನಲ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್ಗೆ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಫೈನಲ್ ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್ ವೈಲ್ ಎಸ್ಟಿಮೇಟಿಂಗ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್. ದ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಇಶ್ಯೂ ಈಸ್ ವಿತ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಟು geographical boundary. Geographical boundary, I mean, so please you should remember, geographical boundary is one of the most important issue at the time of national income estimation. Geographical boundary is very, very important, that too in national income estimation, GDP estimation. So geographical boundary, within the geographical boundary of the country, if I want to just this concept, let me make you very, very simple way of understanding GDP of the country. If I assume geographical boundary is India, that will become GDP of India. If I assume, if I relax, if I widen the GDP geographical boundary into the world, that is a global GDP. If I reduce the geographical boundary into a particular state of India, let me assume a geographical boundary is Karnataka only, that is Karnataka GDP, or we call this as a GSDP of the state or state income. And even if you can bring it down to further, so geographical boundary you are assuming it into district. So then we call that as a district GDP, Taluka GDP and Gram Panchayat GDP. So just if you can reduce this, if you can restrict or widen this geographical boundary, so then you can able to enlarge it into Gram Panchayat GDP to the global GDP, right? So by time being, just GDP I mean, so geographical boundaries of the country. If GDP of India, if I talk, so geographical boundaries of the country one need to remember. And lastly, the fourth concept, that is financial period I mean ಒಂದು ಹಣಕಾಸು ಅವಧಿ, ಹಣಕಾಸು ವರ್ಷ, there should be a period which is badly required for national income estimation. Dear students, please don't confuse. So these four buzzwords are very important. The financial period is very, very vital in understanding the national income. So the first financial period, I mean over a period of time. So national income is relating to one period. Okay, so national income is belonging to one specific time period. That is normally we call it as 1 year. So every time on a regularly, so national income so is studied for 1 annum or 1 year. Yeah. So here and further, in India, national income is being estimated by CSO. So we will be looking the dynamics of it after some time. But dear students, since 1993, CSO estimates national income quarterly, ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತ್ರೈಮಾಸಿಕಕ್ಕೊಮ್ಮೆ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅನ್ನ CSO ಎಸ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೊಡುತ್ತೆ. ಈ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅನ್ನ CSO ಎಸ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅನ್ನ ಸೊ ನಾವು ಆನ್ಯುಯಲಿನೂ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ನಾವು ಅಕ್ರಾಸ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಡ್ ಎಕಾನಮೀಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಕಂಟ್ರಿ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸಿಂಗ್ ದ ಕ್ವಾರ್ಟರ್ಲಿ GDP. Even India also has a quarterly GDP, but we do but dear students, you should remember that 4 quarters, 1 year is bifurcated into four groups. So one is Q1 plus Q2, Q3 and Q4 ಅಂತ 4 ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಮೊದಲ ತ್ರೈಮಾಸಿಕ ಕ್ವಾರ್ಟರ್ 1, ಎರಡನೇ ತ್ರೈಮಾಸಿಕ ಕ್ವಾರ್ಟರ್ 2, ಥರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ವಾರ್ಟರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಕ್ವಾರ್ಟರ್. ಸೊ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಾರ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಫಿನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಇಯರ್ ಏಪ್ರಿಲ್ ಶುರುವಾಗಿ ಸೊ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಮಾರ್ಚ್ 31ಗೆ ಮುಗಿಯುತ್ತೆ. ಏಪ್ರಿಲ್ ಮೇ ಜೂನ್ 3 ತಿಂಗಳು, ಏಪ್ರಿಲ್ ಮೇ ಜೂನ್. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ವಾರ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಜುಲೈ ಆಗಸ್ಟ್ ಸೆಪ್ಟೆಂಬರ್ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ಕ್ವಾರ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಅಕ್ಟೋಬರ್ ನವೆಂಬರ್ ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್ OND, ಅಕ್ಟೋಬರ್ ನವೆಂಬರ್ ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್. ಥರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ವಾರ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಜಾನ್ವರಿ ಫೆಬ್ರವರಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಮಾರ್ಚ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಕಮಿಂಗ್ ಇಯರ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ದ ಫೋರ್ತ್ ಕ್ವಾರ್ಟರ್ GDP ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So like this, one GDP of the year is being bifurcated into 4 divisions: Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಬೇಕು ಇದು. So as I told, but in states, so GDP is estimated in states. States, I mean not United States, states of India. It is estimated by we have an agency called as DES, Directorate of Economics and Statistics. So at national level, CSO estimates national income. Central Statistical Organization, which is an agency which comes under the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation, Government of India. We have a ministry called MOSPI, Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. This MOSPI comes under MOSPI. We have an agency called Central Statistical Organization. This CSO estimates national income in the country, whereas with respect to all 16 concepts of national income is being estimated by this CSO. We'll see the dynamics as and when it's required. And dear students, and with respect to states, Indian states, we have an agency called each state under state government, Ministry of Finance and Planning. We have Directorate of Economics and Statistics. This agency estimates the state income. And this is what, dear students, very quickly recap of the GDP. GDP is the money value of all final goods and services. And money value, I told you, price into quantity. Quantity, I mean the output which is produced, all final goods and services which are produced by these 3 sectors, primary, secondary, tertiary sectors, by using the 4 factors. that is the money value of goods and services, and price, hold on for a time being, price is nothing but the price existed in the market, which price I will tell you later. And then this geographical boundary is very very crucial, and financial period. And one more thing, as for the sake of examination, you should remember most important thing for the you should remember here, national income is a flow or a stock concept. So let me discuss this debate after some time. Flow on stock. All economic concepts are bifurcated into flow and stock. Flow, I mean over a period of time, and stock, S-T-O-C-K, stock, I mean so at a specific point of time. So you should remember national income, as we have discussed. National income, as we have discussed, national income is a flow or stock anta we are going to discuss. Flow andre over a period of time, over a period of time, over a period of time. So stock, I mean at a point of time, stock at a point of time, ಒಂದು ನಿರ್ದಿಷ್ಟ ಕ್ಷಣಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಿಸಿದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನ ಸ್ಟಾಕ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಫ್ಲೋ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು ನಿರ್ದಿಷ್ಟ ಅವಧಿಗೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಿಸಿದ್ರೆ. Can you answer this question very quickly? Does your national income is a stock or flow? So as already just a few minutes back I told you, my dear students, national income is a over a period of time we are estimating 1 year. As I very quickly, if I want to recap you, so there are 4 concepts. So over a period of time, ಒಂದು, so avadhi andre it's a flow concept. All the economic concepts whenever you study, please remember, so you should remember, does it falls in the category of flow or stock? So because so it's over a period of time, 1 year. So 1 year on a standard we estimate, or even you can, this is bifurcated into 4 quarters, so that is also one particular period of time. Hence you should remember this is a flow concept. Okay, so and let me move on to the, after knowing all these 4 buzzwords of GDP, and let me move on to the another concept of national income, that is your GNP. My dear friends, once if you know GDP is money value of all final goods and services produced within the geographical boundary over a period of time. So let me tell you what is GNP. GNP is nothing but national income of the open economy. Just I told you a few minutes back, national income of the open economy. So again, the world economies are bifurcated into open economy and closed economies. Across all the economies of the present day is open economies. So I mean, if the economy, the production and distribution activity of the economy is within the country, it is not at all connected to the global economy, then that is said to be closed economy. Whereas presently, so your foreign sector, already I told there are 3 sectors. One is primary, another is secondary, and a third one is tertiary or service sector. Only if the economy of these 3 sectors, then the economy is called as closed economy ಅಥವಾ ಮುಚ್ಚಿದ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಮುಚ್ಚಿದ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ. Whereas If we have along with these three sectors, ಈ ಮೂರು ವಲಯದ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಫಾರಿನ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಥವಾ ವಿದೇಶಿ ವಲಯವು ಇದ್ರೆ ಅಂತಹ ಸಂದರ್ಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂತಹ ಎಕಾನಮಿಯನ್ನ ಓಪನ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಅಥವಾ ತೆರೆದ ಆರ್ಥಿಕ ವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸಿನ್ಸ್ 1991 July 24 Indian economy become a open economy. Okay, as we know, and we are discussing that topic sometime in the later. So Indian economy is a open economy, and you should remember GNP is national income. Idu 16 concepts alli. There are something like there are 16 concepts. It is dear student, don't confuse. All these 16 concepts are synonymal terms, or what I mean to say, alternative concepts of national income. Any concept can be called as national income. That's the reason we call it as 16 concepts of national income. It is something, a single person having two names. If he has two names, he can be called either first name or the second name. In the same way, so there are 16 concepts are there for national income. As we know, we are learning the second concept. So very simply, if I want to, after knowing GDP, you can easily estimate GNP. GNP is the full form of GNP, as we have already known, gross national product. So this can be called as gross national product or gross national income also. GNP is similar to GNI. Sometimes the people use the buzzword GNI and GNP, both are same. Whereas, let me tell you, this is a GNP, as we have discussed, this is a income of a country in the open economy. Okay, fine. How do you estimate GNP? Or very simply, if I want to recall you, in GDP there was a geographical boundary. So, but we don't consider the geographical boundary in this GNP. So then how do we estimate? GNP, for understanding purpose, GNP is nothing but GNP is equal to GDP, gross domestic product. So ಒಟ್ಟು ದೇಶೀಯ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನ, ಒಟ್ಟು ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನ is equal to ಒಟ್ಟು ದೇಶೀಯ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನ, the first term, plus net factor income from abroad ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. net factor income from abroad. net factor income from abroad. ನೆಟ್ ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಅಬ್ರಾಡ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಪ್ರಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ವಿದೇಶಿ ಮೂಲದಿಂದ ಉತ್ಪಾದನಾಂಗಗಳು ಗಳಿಸಿದ ನಿವ್ವಳ ಆದಾಯ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಮಿತ್ರರೇ, so you should remember, I already told there are 4 factors. One is land, another is labor, the third one is capital, fourth one is entrepreneurship or organization. In these 4 factors, the respective 3 factors, this land cannot be movable. The first factor is said to be immovable factor. You consider a land or a building, so which is immovable and which will not go outside the economy to produce goods and services. Whereas in the open economies, so labor may be like engineers, doctors and professors and nurses and so many other professional experts. So, and accountants, they go to outside the economy and they produce goods and services. Particularly, they assist in directly production of goods and services. Whereas capital, the technology, the machinery, so which also moves from one country to another country. And the third one, entrepreneurs, the entrepreneurs like Narayan Murthy, so and then your Ajim Premji or your Kiran Majumdar Shah or any entrepreneurs, the foreign entrepreneurs can come into India, they can start producing goods and services, or Indian entrepreneurs going outside the world, outside the India and producing goods and services. This is all possible. So for labor we give the income called ಲೇಬರಿಗೆ ಒಂದು ರಿವಾರ್ಡ್ ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್, ಗೂಡ್ಸ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಸರ್ವಿಸಸ್ ಇನ್ ದೀಸ್ 3 ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್, ಪ್ರೈಮರಿ, ಸೆಕೆಂಡರಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಟರ್ಷಿಯರಿ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎಂಗೇಜ್ ಆಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಲೇಬರಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂತ ರಿವಾರ್ಡ್ ಅನ್ನ ಲೇಬರ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನ ವೇಜಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ ಆರ್ ವೇಜಸ್. ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ಗೆ ಕೊಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದನ್ನ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್. ಅಂಡ್ ದೆನ್ ಎಂಟರ್ಪ್ರಿನರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರಾಫಿಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಈ ಮೂರು, there are these 3 factors: labor, capital, entrepreneurs will go outside the economy. For example, so Indian labor, Indian capital and Indian entrepreneurs, the people who are having in Indian citizenship and go outside the economy, and outside the economy, outside the India, and go outside and produce the goods and services over a period of time, and they get a reward. That reward, so net factor income from abroad andre priya vidyarthigale, you should remember there are x minus m. I can use the GDP plus x minus m is equal to net factor income. Net factor, I mean export factor income, x for export factor income minus import factor income. Export factor income ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ x for export factor income. ಸೊ ರಫ್ತು ಉತ್ಪಾದನಾಂಗಗಳು ಗಳಿಸುವ ಆದಾಯ ಮೈನಸ್ ಆಮದು ಉತ್ಪಾದನಾಂಗಗಳು ಗಳಿಸುವ ಆದಾಯ. ರಫ್ತು ಉತ್ಪಾದನಾಂಗಗಳು ಗಳಿಸುವ ಆದಾಯ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ನಮ್ಮ ದೇಶೀಯ ಉತ್ಪಾದನಾಂಗಗಳಾದಂತಹ ಶ್ರಮ, ಬಂಡವಾಳ, ಸಂಘಟನೆ, these 3 factors going outside and earning the income like wages. So if they work for foreign companies, they get a wages. So and then capital goes and they get an interest, and then investors or entrepreneurs, they get a profit. So if all these 3, wage income, investment, interest income and profit income of Indian factors going abroad and earning, so Indian wages, Indian interest plus profit. So if they engaged in production of goods and services outside and they get this income, that is export factor income. Whereas import factor income, I mean foreign factors. Foreign factors, I mean it's something like the foreign engineers, foreign doctors coming and rendering the service and are producing goods and services within India. So maybe for example American engineer or American engineer working in India, so and then he get a wages. And then foreign companies invested in India, so they bring a capital, so and then so for that they get an interest, and foreign entrepreneurs start producing goods in India. So this is said to be foreign factors, import factor income. So they get wage income, they get interest income, they get profit income. If these 3 factors, so wage income, interest income and profit income of the foreign factors is said to be import factor income. Export factor income minus import factor income is said to be net factor income from abroad. This is also estimated for a same specific time period, that is 1 year, and which is further trickle down to every quarter. You should remember GDP plus net factor income from abroad is called as your GNP, that is gross national product. Dear friends, I hope now you are understood the difference between GDP and GNP. This is very straight away national income of the closed economy, so national income of the open economy. Only the difference is GNP is nothing but GDP, that is first one, Second one is nothing but the first one plus net factor income from abroad. ವಿದೇಶ ಮೂಲದಿಂದ ಉತ್ಪಾದನಾಂಗಗಳು ಗಳಿಸಿದಂತಹ ನಿವ್ವಳ ಆದಾಯ. Once after understanding this two, and we can easily understand the third concept, that is your net domestic product or ನಿವ್ವಳ ದೇಶೀಯ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನ. You call this as net domestic product, net domestic product, or you can call this as ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನಿವ್ವಳ ದೇಶೀಯ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನ. So very simple, my dear friends. So let me go back to the first one, and then from first you can develop the third concept. The ಮೊದಲನೇ GDP ಇಂದ you can able to generate the NDP. Only a small difference if you can able to, as I need your memory back to what exactly GDP. I told you repeatedly. So these four phrases. So one is money value, final goods and services, geographical boundary, and financial year period. These four are very, very crucial in understanding GDP. Okay, so ಈ ನಾಲ್ಕು ಅಂಶಗಳನ್ನ, if I want to recall you what exactly NDP, so we are producing final goods and services over a period of time within the geographical boundaries of the country, that is your GDP. So if I want NDP, so we have, once if you are producing goods and services, so there is a sound reason or logic behind it. The capital goods turn to be used, there is a concept called as depreciation value. So NDP is nothing but GDP, that is the first term, which is very badly required to generate the third term also. See, second term is GNP is estimated with the help of GDP. Third time, the NDP also we are estimating with the help of GDP. So that's the reason these four buzzwords you should remember if you want to understand national income accounting very thoroughly. So dear students, you should remember this GDP very, very, all you can generate it if you know the base. This is something like a base. So NDP, net domestic product, is equal to GDP minus, there is a concept called as a depreciation cost. Depreciation cost recently 2015 onwards, CSO starts using the word consumption of fixed capital. Either you can use the word depreciation cost, this is nothing but consumption of, or depreciation cost, or nothing but consumption of fixed capital. Consumption of fixed capital is called as depreciation cost. ಇದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಸವಕಳಿ ವೆಚ್ಚ ಅಂತೀವಿ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ. Let me explain you very neatly in a simple way, or if I translate it into typical Kannada, so ಸ್ಥಿರ ಬಂಡವಾಳದ ಅನುಭೋಗ. What do you mean by this ಸವಕಳಿ ವೆಚ್ಚ or ಸ್ಥಿರ ಬಂಡವಾಳದ? If you minus GDP, ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್, ಸವಕಳಿ ವೆಚ್ಚವನ್ನು GDP ಇಂದ ಮೈನಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಗೆಟ್ ಈಸ್, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಟಿಪಿಕಲಿ ನೆಟ್ ಡೊಮೆಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಅಥವಾ ನಿವ್ವಳ ದೇಶೀಯ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನ. ಈ ನಿವ್ವಳ ದೇಶೀಯ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನ ನಮಗೆ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ಟು ಎಸ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ದ ಸವಕಳಿ ವೆಚ್ಚ. ಸವಕಳಿ ವೆಚ್ಚ ಅಥವಾ consumption of fixed capital. So let me spend a minute on this. When you start producing a goods and services, assume we are producing goods and services in these three sectors: agri, industry and service sector. Very small case I take. So you are all familiar with agriculture. So assume your final products in the agriculture sector. Assume your any vegetable comes out. Okay, so from the field to the market, I mean, we use lot of capital goods like tractor. You use it, tractor or truck. Assume, so a truck is used both in the agri as well as manufacturing sector. A lorry or a truck which is used. So for what? So to take raw material from market to the field or to the industrial plant, and from industrial plants to the market to sell it. We badly require truck or a lorry, so or a transport carrier, so which uses lot of it's a mission. Okay, it's a mission, or any missions which are used. Maybe in that there will be goods, something like tires. So these tires or axle or any small equipments, you need to replace them. So in case, for example, agriculture, so you are to plow, you use a tractor. At that time, the tractor, you need to, many times the tractor brake, you need to replace it. Tires, you need to replace it. In the same way, in industry, you are using, for example, in a printing machine. You use in the printing machine, you use the cutters. The cutters, the sharpness of the cutter will go out. So then you need to replace the blades of the cutter. In the same way, so for example, you are using computers in the service sector, and you need to the UPS or a battery in the laptop, you need to replace it. So and something like, so the capital goods will get, the value of the capital goods get depreciated. Why do the value of the capital goods get depreciated? It will not simply get depreciated just because of production of goods and services ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಅದರ value depreciate ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. Only capital goods have a depreciation cost. The value of such a capital goods will come down over a period of time due to the production of goods and services. Hence, GDP is money value of final goods and services. These GDPs come out due to use of capital goods. You have to remove the cost of replacement. So there is another buzzword you can use. The cost of replacement of capital goods is also called as is nothing but your depreciation cost. I can use either a depreciation cost, the word depreciation cost, or consumption of fixed capital, what CSO, your agency of estimating national income in India. So as I already discussed, your CSO estimates national income in India. CSO in 2015 revision of national income estimates, it starts using the word consumption of fixed capital, that is nothing but worn out cost. So ಇಂತಹ ಬಂಡವಾಳ ಸರಕುಗಳಿಗೆ ತಗುಲುವಂತಹ ಸವಕಳಿ ವೆಚ್ಚವನ್ನ ನಾವೇನಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ, ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆರ್ ಕನ್ಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸ್ಥಿರ ಬಂಡವಾಳದ ಅನುಭೋಗ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಇದನ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ GDP ಇಂದ ಕಳೆದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ಯು ಗೆಟ್ ಇಟ್, ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಗೆಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಯುವರ್ NDP. I think dear students, as if you have understood thoroughly the third concept, you can easily, fourth concept is fully free. Let me cross check you. Just use your common sense and you will be in a position to understand, or you will answer my fourth question. So what is NNP? The full form of NNP is something, so we call it as net national product. Net national product. In Kannada, ನಿವ್ವಳ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನ. We call ನಿವ್ವಳ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನ. As you are if you understood third, the fourth will be absolutely free. Let me tell you. NDP is equal to GDP minus consumption of fixed capital or depreciation cost or replacement cost or replacement charges. NDP ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನೋಡಿದ್ವಿ GDP the first one minus ಸವಕಳಿ ವೆಚ್ಚ. ಹಾಗೇನೆ if you want to understand the fourth one, very simple, the NDP ಅನ್ನ GDP ಇಂದ ಮೈನಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಸೊ NNP ಅನ್ನ ಯಾವುದರಿಂದ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ? NNP is equal to, it's simple replication, GNP minus your consumption of fixed capital or depreciation cost. So ಬಂಡವಾಳ ಸರಕುಗಳ ಸವಕಳಿ ವೆಚ್ಚವನ್ನ GNP ಇಂದ ಮೈನಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಏನು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ? you get the concept called as NNP. I think you got it. So one more clue I wanted to tell you. So I told you there are 16 concepts of national income. In these 16 concepts, 8 are gross, 8 are net. In these 8 gross concepts, there are 8 are gross, 8 are idu into gross, into net. Just by knowing the gross, you can estimate the net values NNP. The word starts from G in the 16 concepts only. By the end of today's lecture, so 2 lectures, you will be in a position to understand all the 16 concepts of national income, maybe by another 2 hours. Okay, so then you will be in a position to bifurcate. Just by logically I will ask you to remember. If you can remember 8, so then net remaining 8 you can generate automatically by knowing this difference, that is gross and net. The difference is only in gross you are adding consumption of fixed capital, with respect to in net you are minusing consumption of fixed capital. If one is given, if the people ask you the other one, you should remember. So ನಿಮಗೆ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ 8 ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ, 8 ನೆಟ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಡೊಮೆಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್, ನೆಟ್ ಡೊಮೆಸ್ಟಿಕ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್, ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್, ನೆಟ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್. ಸೊ ಹೀಗೆ so there are just I am telling you 4, and rest of the things we will learn it after some time. So let me make you to comfort. Okay, ನೆಟ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ನಮಗೆ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅಥವಾ ಸವಕಳಿ ವೆಚ್ಚವನ್ನ ಸೇರಿಸಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಕೇಳಿದರೆ ನಮಗೆ ನೆಟ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಸೊ ನಾವು ಕನ್ಸಂಪ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಫಿಕ್ಸ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲ್ ಅನ್ನ ಮೈನಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಯಾವುದರಿಂದ? ಗ್ರಾಸ್ ಇಂದ ಮೈನಸ್ CFC ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೆಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ನೆಟ್ ಇಂದ ಸೊ ಪ್ಲಸ್ ನೆಟ್ ಪ್ಲಸ್ consumption of fixed capital, so then you get gross. You should remember this, my dear students, so then you can easily understand the rest of the concepts very thoroughly. So then I think you understood these 4 concepts of national income thoroughly. Now I will ask you to remember these 4 and make you to learn the other things very easily. My dear students, your national income accounting 4 concepts as we have already understood. I will make you to understand 8, and just by remembering 2 concepts. There is real and nominal national income. ರಿಯಲ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ನೈಜ ಅಂತ ಕರಿತೀವಿ. ನೈಜ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ನಾಮಿನಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಹಣರೂಪಿ ಅಥವಾ ಹಣರೂಪಿ ಅಥವಾ ನಾಮ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಕರ್ಕೋಬಹುದು. ಡಿಯರ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್, so if you know the difference between these 2 words, real and nominal, okay, let me keep with respect to national income, you can understand 8 concept automatically. Already I made you to understand GDP, GNP, NDP and NNP. If you can understand real and nominal, then you can you will be in a position to understand 8 concepts. There are 4 real GDP, real GNP, real NDP and real NNP. Just I have written here first 4. And 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th are belonging to nominal GDP, nominal NNP, nominal NDP, nominal NNP. So these 4 are the basic, and then you can able to real and nominal. If you can differentiate, then you will be in a position to understand. Let me tell you what exactly the real and nominal. Again, we need to go back to our GDP. In my case, I told you there are 4 buzzwords: money value of all final goods and services which are produced in the country over a period of time. So we need period is 1 year. Money value, now I told you at that point of time, I will discuss you this money value after some time. Money value I mean, so money value I mean price into quantity. Price into quantity. Another maulya andre, so bele into pramana. Dear students, please remember carefully. So either GDP or GNP or NDP or NNP. Okay, so they are final goods and services produced in the country over a period of time. So we take up we minus it depreciation cost with respect to NDP and NNP, and we had open economy, foreign country, foreign sector in GNP, and we have goods and services produced within the economy. So that is a closed economy in GDP. So you have money value of all final goods and services. So if in general, if you want to ask me what exactly national income, and money value of final goods and services, the goods and services from these 3 sectors, that is we call it as output, which is relating to one particular period, that is 1 year. Assume, so we are estimating GDP of 2019-20. If you are estimating GDP of 1920, the output belong to the year which your goods and services, your final goods and services must be produced in 2019-20 financial year. That means April 2019 to March 2020. So this period the final goods must be produced. So the year which you speak, so the output should be belonging to that period. Whereas with respect to, that is what quantity. Quantity is the output which is produced in the respective year in which, for which year you are going to estimate national income. And the price is, this is very, very crucial. Please concentrate on this. If you can differentiate, there will be, we take up 2 different prices actually. That makes you the difference between real and nominal. Okay, so one is, if you are measuring the output in the current year and prices are base year prices. If prices are base year prices, then you call it as real national income. Your output is current year output both in nominal as well as real, that is the current year output. Whereas the prices with respect to real national income, real, we take it base year price, whereas with respect to nominal GDP, nominal national income, in nominal national income, you take it as output measured for current year output, only the price you make the difference between real and nominal. See, this is base year prices, real is base year price. So, whereas your nominal is your current year price. Let me spend a few minutes on what exactly the nominal price nominal or current year price is said to be nominal prices. The prices prevailing in the same period is current year prices or present prices. That is, base year prices are something the CSO, as I told you, CSO is an agency which estimates your national income, your CSO which estimates national income, which has a power to decide which year should be the base year. So base year, for example, if I want you to comfortable with respect to base and nominal or real and nominal concepts, I wanted to ask you one simple query, or I wanted to ask you, assume, let me go 1 minute outside this national income concept to make you to comfortable with respect to national income or real and nominal national income understanding. You assume you are all working, you get a salary of 1 lakh per month. If that is the case, you tell me the answer, your salary is more or less. Can you think over it? ಪ್ರಿಯ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿ ಮಿತ್ರರೇ ಅಥವಾ ಪ್ರಿಯ ಸ್ಪರ್ಧಾರ್ಥಿಗಳೇ, ಅಸ್ಯೂಮ್ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ KS ಅಥವಾ IAS ಪರೀಕ್ಷೆ ಪಾಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಿರಿ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಸ್ಯಾಲರಿ 1 ಲಕ್ಷ ಒಂದು ಮಂತ್ಗೆ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಂಬಳ ಅಥವಾ ನಿಮ್ಮ ವೇತನ ಒಂದು ಮಾಸಕ್ಕೆ 1 ಲಕ್ಷ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಊಹೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಹೀಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ನಿಮ್ಮ 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 ಆದಾಯ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇದೆಯೋ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದೆಯೋ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕಾಗತ್ತಾ? ಹೋಲ್ಡ್ ಆನ್, don't answer me, or you write down and I will ask you the similar question. The second question, assume you are all either a male or a female. Assume, you should assume this, your height is 5 feet 5 inches. Assume it, you are taller, so by your height is 5 feet 5 inches. Okay? ನಿಮ್ಮ ಎತ್ತರ 5 ಅಡಿ 5 ಇಂಚುಗಳಿದೆ. ಹೀಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ನನ್ನ ಪ್ರಶ್ನೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಇನ್ನೊಮ್ಮೆ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ನೀವು ಎತ್ತರವಾಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಅಥವಾ ಕುಳ್ಳಗಿದ್ದೀರಾ? I will ask you the third question again, third set of assumption. Okay. I hope you are all completed your undergraduation courses. ನಿಮ್ಮ BA ನೋ ಅಥವಾ BCom ಅಥವಾ BSc ನೋ ಅಥವಾ BE ನೋ ಅಥವಾ BBA ನೋ BCom ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಕೋರ್ಸ್ ಮುಗಿಸಿದಿರಿ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ. ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಗ್ರೇಡಿಂಗ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ, ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ 70% ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಿ. ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರ್ಡ್ 70% ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಂಕಗಳು, ನಿನ್ನ ಅಂಕ ಸೊ 70 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋ. ಎಲ್ರದ್ದು ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಅಂಕ. ಯು ಆರ್ ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರ್ಡ್. ನಿನ್ನ ಹೈಟು, ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ಬಿ ಕೇರ್ಫುಲ್, ನಿನ್ನ ಹೈಟು 5 ಅಡಿ 5 ಇಂಚು. ನಿನ್ನ ಆದಾಯ 1 ಲಕ್ಷ. ನಿನ್ನ, ಐ ಡೋಂಟ್ ನೋ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಅದರ್ಸ್. ಸೊ ನಿನ್ನ ಅಂಕಗಳು 70 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ. Can you answer this question? Does your income is more or less, or does you are taller or you are shorter, or your marks is more or less? Can you answer this question? I think you can't answer, because they are all in nominal terms. If you compare a person whose income is 1,10,000 and your income is 1 lakh, then we can able to say your income is lesser than your friend's income, because he earns 1,10,000. In the same way, if you can compare a person whose height is less than 5.5 inches, 5 feet 5 inches, and then you can compare and tell you are taller than the person whom you are comparing, maybe your friend. Okay, or your friend may be taller than, if his height is, ಅವರ ಹೈಟ್ 5.5ಕ್ಕಿಂತ 5.7 ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಆಗ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಸೇ, ಸೊ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಏಬಲ್ ಟು ಸೇ, ಹಾಗಿದ್ದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತನೇ ನಿಮಗಿಂತ ಟಾಲರ್ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ. ದ ಥರ್ಡ್ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಸೇಮ್. ಸೊ ಯು ಸೆಕ್ಯೂರ್ಡ್ 70 ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತ ಏನಾದ್ರು 70ಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವನ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಅಥವಾ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಅಥವಾ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತ, ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಸಮಥಿಂಗ್ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕಿಂಗ್. ಎಂಟೈರ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ವಿ ಆರ್ ಲಿವಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ದ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್. ಯು ಕಾಂಟ್ ಸ್ಪೀಕ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಐಸೋಲೇಟೆಡ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ಇದು ಹಾಗೇನೆ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಹಾಗೇನೆ. ನಿಮ್ಮ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಕಂಪೇರ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ನಾಮಿನಲಿ, ಇಟ್ ಡಸಂಟ್ ಗಿವ್ ಯು ಎನಿ. So it will not give you any actual picture. Actually, so that's the reason you need to compare with real numbers. You can't compare with the others. You need to compare. For example, e case alli, let me ask you the same question. You secured 75 marks in your plus 2 athwa in your SSLC. Now you secured 70. Then you can able to answer the same. So yes, my performance in the exam has come down. Or if you have secured 68%, now you secured 70, so then your performance has increased ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಪ್ರಿಯ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ. ಹಾಗಿದ್ದಾಗ so you need to compare with yourself. So previous values ನೋಡಿ, so ಅಥವಾ you need to compare with, so cross comparing, so but your other friends. But comparing yourself gives you a lot of impact and real impact. You can able to assess so you are really growing or not. This is in the same angle we are learning our real and national income concepts. Real national income tells me exactly is it I am growing or not. It's real growth. ನೈಜವಾಗಿ ಆ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರದಲ್ಲಿ ಸರಕು ಮತ್ತು ಸೇವೆಗಳ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನಗಳು ಹೆಚ್ಚುತ್ತಿವೆಯೋ ಇಲ್ಲವೋ ಎಂದು ತಿಳಿಯಲು ನಮಗೆ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕು? ರಿಯಲ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಬೇಕು. ರಿಯಲ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಆಗ್ಲೇ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಯಾವುದು ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಸಂಬಂಧಿಸಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ನಾವೀಗಾಗಲೇ ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ವಿ 19-20ಕ್ಕೆ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಂತ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಆ 19-20ರಲ್ಲಿ ಉತ್ಪಾದಿಸಲ್ಪಟ್ಟಂತಹ ಅಂತಿಮ ಸರಕು ಮತ್ತು ಸೇವೆಗಳು ಬೆಲೆಗಳು ನಾವು ಯಾರ್ದನ್ನ ತಗೋಬೇಕು? ಆ ವರ್ಷದ ಬೆಲೆಗಳನ್ನ ತಗೋಬಾರ್ದು, ಬೇಸ್ ಇಯರ್ ಮೂಲ ವರ್ಷದ ಬೆಲೆಗಳನ್ನ ತಗೋಬೇಕು. ಎರಡು ಸ್ವರೂಪದ ಬೆಲೆಗಳಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು ಮೂಲ ವರ್ಷದ ಬೆಲೆಗಳು, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಬೇಸ್ ಇಯರ್ ಪ್ರೈಸಸ್. ದ ಸೆಕೆಂಡ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ nominal year prices. So this you should remember. So if you measure your national income, present year output ಎರಡೂ ಕೇಸಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲೂ ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ measured at the current year prices. ಸೊ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತ ವರ್ಷದ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನವನ್ನ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತ ವರ್ಷದ ಬೆಲೆಗಳಲ್ಲೇ ಅಂದಾಜು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾಮಿನಲ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತ ವರ್ಷದ ಉತ್ಪನ್ನವನ್ನ ಮೂಲ ವರ್ಷದ ಬೆಲೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂದಾಜು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ರಿಯಲ್ ನ್ಯಾಷನಲ್ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಅಥವಾ ನೈಜ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಆದಾಯ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಪ್ರಿಯ ಸ್ನೇಹಿತರೆ, ಇದು 4 ಬೇಸ್ ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ GDP, GNP, NDP, NNP ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಮುಂಚೆ ರಿಯಲ್ ಅಂತ ಸೇರಿಸಿದ್ರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಾನು ಸೇರಿಸಿದ್ದೀನಲ್ಲ, ರಿಯಲ್ GDP, ರಿಯಲ್ GNP, ರಿಯಲ್ NDP, ರಿಯಲ್ NNP. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ 4 ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ಆಗೋಯ್ತು. So just we took 10 minutes to learn 8 concepts. See the beauty of understanding the concepts in very, very logically. This is all I based on my experience of teaching since last 15 years and my understanding of the subject, which I wanted to make you to easily understand, and you can logically keep it, and now you are thoroughly understood 8 concepts of national income. So then nominal GDP, nominal GNP, nominal NDP and nominal NNP. So just by remembering the difference between real and nominal, so 4 will be 4 GDP, GNP, NDP, NNP real, 4 first category, and second category, so GDP, GNP, NDP, NNP in nominal terms. That too, only one small thing I am going back and telling you, so I will make you to concretize your concepts of this national income. So 4 buzzwords which I told you, these 4 words. So the first one, your money value. So that is the first one which I told you, this money value, price into quantity. Just within that price I am making the difference. If you take the base year price, that is real GDP. If you take the current year price, that is your nominal GDP or nominal national, maybe GDP, GNP or NDP or NNP. If the output is for the current year, ದ ಸೇಮ್ ಇಯರ್ ನಾನು 2019-20 ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಆದಾಯ ಅಂದಾಜು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, GDP ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಔಟ್ಪುಟ್ 19-20 ತಗೋಬೇಕು. GDP ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, GNP ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, NDP ಅಥವಾ NNP ಯಾವ್ದಾದ್ರು ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ, ನೀವು ಯಾವ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಎಸ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರೋ, ರಿಯಲ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿ ನಾಮಿನಲ್ ಆಗ್ಲಿ, ಎರಡೂ ಸಹ ಅದೇ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಇರಬೇಕು ಉತ್ಪನ್ನ. ಬೆಲೆಗಳು ಮಾತ್ರ ನಾಮಿನಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದೇ ವರ್ಷದ ಬೆಲೆಗಳನ್ನ ತಗೊಂತೀರಾ, ರಿಯಲ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಮೂಲ ವರ್ಷದ ಬೆಲೆಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ತಗೊಂತೀರಾ. Let me spend some time on what exactly the base and base year and nominal year. Base prices, base year prices and base year price ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ once in every year for comparison purpose, as let me make you to comfortable here. So if you want to compare anything, you need to take real only. The second four, 5, 6, 7, 8, your nominal GDP, nominal GNP, nominal NDP, nominal NNP. So they are concepts of national income. Fine, we should agree, but you cannot compare the nominal concepts. So because there is a lot of difference between base and the most important thing is real output has increased or not. I will not be in a position to understand with comparing nominal GDP of 2019-20 with comparison with respect to nominal GDP of 18-19 or 15-16. So you need to compare with the real numbers. So with the same base further. So then you can able to tell exactly is it India or any country is growing or not. You can't compare any nominal numbers. My dear students, please remember this. Hence, for comparison purpose, you should use the real numbers. That too with the same base. Again, the researchers like me, we use in doing research of national income accounting of last 70 years. If I want to use, I can compare the GDPs of the country of the same India. Okay, only real GDP with the same base. However, I don't want you to complicate much, my dear friends. So let me spend some time on what exactly the base year. Why base year? What is this base year? So as I already told, Priya Vidyarthigale, base year is an ideal year, economical ideal year anna base year anta namma CSO consider ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ. What do you mean by economically ideal year? Economically ideal year ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಏನು? Economical ideal ಅಂದ್ರೆ so it's very high principled ಅಂತ, it's free from errors ಅಂತ, right? I think I hope you are familiar with this. Economical ideal ಅಂದ್ರೆ we have these three sectors. We have primary, manufacturing and service sector, so and foreign sector also. So where the output is not too much fluctuated due to the drought. In case of agriculture sector andre, so drought ಇಂದ ಅಥವಾ ಫ್ಲಡ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಬರಗಾಲದಿಂದ ಅತಿವೃಷ್ಟಿ ಅನಾವೃಷ್ಟಿ ಇರಬಾರ್ದು ಆ ವರ್ಷ. So if you want to decide, the year is a base year. One criteria. There are so many criteria the CSO takes. Normally CSO once in 5 to 6 years it changes the base. So the latest base year for CSO national income estimation is 2011-12, which has changed in the year 2015. Please remember this. The current related questions, one can expect it. 2015 2015 ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ 4 ವರ್ಷಗಳಿಂದ CSO ತನ್ನ ಬೇಸ್ ಅನ್ನ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿತು. 2000 ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಎ ಬೇಸ್ 2004-5 ಬೇಸ್ ಇತ್ತು. 2004-5 ಬೇಸ್ ಇಯರ್ ಅನ್ನ 2011-12 ಆಗಿ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿತು. ಸೊ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ಲಿ ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಎ ಬೇಸ್ 2011-12. ಸೊ ಅಂಡ್ ಫರ್ದರ್ ಪ್ಲೀಸ್ ರಿಮೆಂಬರ್ ದಿಸ್, when CSO decide this is a base year, it considers it is an ideal economic year. It needs to be changed. Actually, normally any country in the world changes its base year twice in a decade, because there are so many other issues comes into national income estimation. I will discuss them at the time of limitations of national income estimation. One need to, if I want to compare the output of these today with a previous prices, the commodity must be available at the previous period. If that is the reason, for example, today we have assume a smartphone. Smartphone was not there last 10 years back. If that is the reason, if I want to compare the real output of a smartphone with the base year price, I don't get the base year price. That's one crucial reason for CSO, and there are this is one most important reason why do we change the base. And the base we change it due to this dynamics of our production and our production process across all the three sectors. That's one reason, and the base year should be very ideal. Normally it's free from economic fluctuations like droughts, floods, economic recession. Maybe with respect to your manufacturing sector it should not be any high inflation or deflation, or it should be free from internal recession and global economic recession. I cannot take, our CSO cannot take 2008 as a base year, because 2008 we got, everybody, you guys knows 2008 is we had a great global economic recession. So then you cannot consider this is an economic ideal year. This is a logic of base year. Base year is economically ideal year, which is free from economic fluctuations. My dear friends, this national income accounting, in the national income accounting, so the base year is very crucial. There are 8 concepts of national income comes from real, and 8 concepts comes from the nominal. If that is the case, if you can differentiate what exactly the 8 and what exactly the real and nominal, then you can able to understand the rest. And this, and further, let me give you most updated information to you. Till maybe CSO last 1 year back has decided to change its base year from 2011 to 12. Already 4 years has gone. So 2015 we changed the base, 2011 12. Now comparing GDP of 2018 or 19 with 2011 12 prices, there may be the such kind of goods which are not available, which are produced in 2018 or 19. Hence CSO has decided to change its base from 2011 12 to 2014 15. But till it is in the process of CSO, okay, please daily read your newspapers. I forget to tell you some Mula mantras to achieve success in competitive exams, particularly my economics paper. Okay, so as already sometime back in my introductory classes I told you, my dear friends, so current affairs is very crucial for a day. So, and you should not read current affairs alone. You should read the basic, and almost in your 15 to 20 questions of economy, either both in your UPSC or KPSC exam, that is your KS or your IS exam, okay, in your preliminary, on an average 12 to 15 or sometimes 12 to 18 questions which comes, in that maybe 60 to 70% based on current affairs question. Which is your latest base year? When did the CSO change its base? And something like this. So then you should read the newspaper. I request you, please do these 3 things. Literally you should do. Listen these lectures very lucidly by putting your 100% concentration. If you did not follow, please take a pause and watch them again and again with concentrated power, concentrated mind. And sometime back Swami Vivekananda says, anything in this world can be achieved successfully. 100% success is achieved only if your mind power, that is your concentration, is 100%. The tasks, 90% of the task will end with a success if the mind power or concentration is existed. Hence I do request you, please watch these lectures carefully. Along with this, I will ask you to read some references and do some current affairs related updated news. As per till the date, I can update you guys what is existing in my with respect to all topics. I deal the current affairs aspect as and when it is we are discussing our basics, but this is your duty to update. Any further changes happens, we give you link. Presentations are updated, presentations are very crux presentations, sometimes 1 week or 15 days before the exam. However, it is your responsibility to read every daily, so at least one national daily, preferably the Hindu if you are preparing for UPSC exam and even KPSC too. And my dear Kannada medium students, please don't feel bad, okay? At least you should start reading one national daily, the Hindu, and if students who are preparing for KPSC exams, you should read at least one state daily, your Prajavani editorial pages. I request you, don't read all the nonsense accidental issues, some the irrelevant local politics issue, and which you can able to understand what is required for the exam and what is not required. I will tell you what is required, and many times my students ask me, does this required to read or which is not required to read? And very simple idea. If you want to read, which one you need to read, which one you need to omit. And editorial pages are very crucial. And you divide your entire GS into 6 or 7 segments. One of the most important segment is mine, that is economy, and you read the economic topics. And something like geography, something like polity, something like science and technology, it's and general science, okay? You should able to update this. Then it will be very, and I request you further, so please, revision is Moola Mantra for this exercise, second Moola Mantra. Whenever you read, you understand, but we forget. So, you should watch lectures, you should make a notes, or by watching them, you can able to, there is a saying, okay, if you read 5 times reading is equal to one time writing. And there is one more thing, 5 times writing is equal to 1 time listening. So this is a more fantastic. I got this idea suddenly. The students who are taking courses online, you have a very lucky, and many times in our regular classes, so even it has happened for me too. When when a professor or a resource person is delivering a lecture, what happens? Suddenly he will rush through a topic which suddenly you miss the topic, and then you could not able to conceptualize, and it's not possible to take what I mean to say, take back to that lecture. But you are all lucky. So your lectures are, your professors are giving you online lectures, and then they are recorded. Whenever you feel you are not in a position to comfort with that, and you take back 1 minute back, forward it or backward it, and then you can learn many times, and you can revise it also whenever you feel free. And I recommend you make a note from this, or so just take a take a printout of these slides, and then make you to revise it once in a same day, maybe second time in the same way, third time in the same week, which makes you to perfect. Dear friends, till now we have done with our 8 concepts of national income, and let me take a pause for a while and continue with our remaining 8 concepts and of the national income in our second lecture series. Before we take a break, so let me, you should, can you answer these questions? Just try to see. If I felt so our discussion was completely an interaction. However, let me tell you, can you answer these questions? Just have a look. Does GDP consist of these 4 items? All the above, the options are A, B, C, D. I made it very simply. So because in the initial days you need to cross check, and if you could able to understand my lecture of last 1.5 hours, you would have done. It's very easy for you to discuss and answer this. Okay. There are 5 questions which are asked. So, does GDP consist of all the following? Geographical area, money value, final goods and services, and financial year. So, options are all the above, A and B, that is geographical area and money value, then final goods and services only, and financial year, that A and D, geographical area and financial year. Go back and lock it. The second question, real GDP is greater than nominal GDP. I don't answer this question. I bombarded you. I lost my complete energy in discussing with you and explaining you what is real, nominal. And this is your duty now. So, normally, real is greater or nominal is greater? You should tell me. So, ನೈಜ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಆದಾಯ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತಾ ನಾಮಮಾತ್ರ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಆದಾಯ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರುತ್ತಾ? In general, I did not answer this question directly in my presentation. Please use your common sense and tell what exactly the does real GDP is greater or nominal GDP is greater. I hope now your answer is ready. Let me tell you. So real GDP, the answer, it's false actually. So real GDP is lesser than nominal GDP. Let me spend a minute on this. Any time. So why always? So you learnt your nominal and real. And it's a common sense. Nominal values are always higher than the real values, and vice versa. Real value is less than nominal value. This holds good. This happens in all the cases. Once, if you assume you are living in the economy, inflation economy, the prices in the economy are moving. If there is no increase in the price, assume this is it will not happen in the real case. When the prices are not at all increasing, assume the prices of 1950 of the prices of today are same of all commodities in the economy. Prices of the last year is equal to prices of this year. It will not happen. The prices increases normally. So you have a inflation case, you have a deflation case, you have if you assume there is no price increase. And please remember, so in very special case, in normal case, nominal is greater than real or real is less than nominal. This is a normal case. In very special case, but so if UPSC asks me to give a question or somebody gives you a very special question like this, can you answer? If prices are not increasing in the economy, does real and nominal changes? Go back and answer my question. So what definition of real and nominal we understood? So nominal base year price and current year price. If base year price is equal to current year price, then real is equal to nominal. This is the way you should understand. But normally, so the base year price, the previous year's price, and which is normally lower than the current year price if you have an inflation. Normally, any country in the world has an inflation. Okay. And normally no country in the world in general cases doesn't have a deflationary case. Okay, but on the inflation again, we'll speak a lot of issues on inflation sometime later. And for the answer to the second question, it's false, because real GDP may be most important. I'm not asking its more relevance. So in absolute terms, real GDP is lesser than nominal GDP, either GDP or GNP, anything. Real is lesser than nominal because the values in the real is base year prices. Base year prices are now always lesser. Even nominal is equal to real. Can you tell me one more answer? When the nominal is equal to real, I told you zero inflation, or something like, so the year where your base year is equal to same nominal year, I mean, your base year you are considering 2011-12 is a current base. If you are measuring the output of the 2011-12 output in 2011-12 output and 2011-12 base year, if the base year is same, so then your real and nominal there will be no difference. But however, this third case will not happen in the real terms, but researchers will convert the base into in 2011-12 we never had a 11-12 base, we had a 2004-5 base. That's the beauty. I don't want you to complex much, so please go back and read and the basic. I hope so all the basics are paka with these lectures. And let me ask you this query. So that is your, can you answer this? NDP at FC, this question you need to wait for some time. FC and MP third and fourth question. I will take back these 3-4 questions. All the method, this question number 3, 4, 5 you can answer in the next lecture. So you are not supposed to answer. It's not possible for you to answer this 3. I hope so. We have enjoyed the lecture. We'll meet you in the second lecture. Thank you. Thank you, dear friends. And I assure you, you have learned 8 concepts of national income in our last 1.5 hour lecture. And I will tell you, you should go back and I can challenge you. If you go back and watch this lecture very carefully, understand all the 8 concepts, and go back and try to locate your questions. So in your original question papers, and then you can able to see. I will assure you, based on my experience in teaching last 13 plus years, and this is more than enough for your UPSC preparation. This is part 1 of national income accounting. We'll go to we'll discuss the rest of the remaining 8 concepts of national income and the other issues comes in the national income accounting in the second lecture. Thank you. Hope you have enjoyed the lectures. Thank you, students.